Saka Saka, welcome, bienvenidos. This is Roxana for Metamorphosis Rocks, and today we have an interesting comment. I am asking a very simple question. This might make sense to you later on, maybe probably next year when you see some of the changes we're doing to the content. But in a nutshell, I want to see why is it that everything has to be black or white, red or blue, conservative, progressive, and people can't just be human. Now, before I go into what happened, I want to make a statement that is very important for me to make because there's a change in the way I do things. And keep in mind that this might not be a private conversation. I don't know because I haven't looked at my Instagram, but I do believe that most people can't see this particular conversation. And the comment that I want to make is in reference to DMs, emails, communication, well, not emails, but DMs specifically on social media. You see, according to the law, they are not protected conversations. According to my law, in years past, and if you follow me for a while, you know that I refuse to acknowledge, or not acknowledge, but display private messages because I thought it was just wrong. Ironically, everybody and their mother would publish things that I would send them, but only the part that would make them look good and make me look bad. Now, when I released the video The Purge, I actually posted an entire conversation because here's the thing with me. I don't care if it makes me look bad. I would not say in private something that I would not be willing to say in public. Meaning, if I think you're being an idiot at a particular moment in time, I'll be more than happy to tell you to your face. Now, I might not tell you because the occasion doesn't arise, but if I said to a friend, because I am venting, I am upset with you for whatever reason, and I am venting in a private conversation and I say, well, so-and-so was an idiot today, or so-and-so did something stupid, trust and believe I would be more than willing to tell you to your face. However, for many years, I decided I was not going to release DMs because I didn't want to embarrass people and whatnot. And this is not talking about any and all DMs. To be honest with you, thanks to the situation on Twitter, most of the conversations I've had with you guys are deleted because I didn't want to expose, especially some of you who actually sent me your address and whatnot. I didn't want that to end in the wrong hands. So I started deleting all the conversations. Now, I'm not done deleting. I am going to delete all of them. But I am in that process, and I'm not going to save all those conversations. That's just not going to happen. Sorry. But here's the thing, and this is why I bring this up. I had a situation happen to me on Instagram recently, and I wanted to share it with you. And you might be thinking, but you're actually showing who this person is. Well, yeah, this person decided to come out of nowhere. I don't follow them. They don't follow me. And for some reason decided to choose violence, I guess is how I'm going to say it. So yes, I decided to expose them and in the process answer their question or their comment. So here we go. Now, the title of this video is Why Is It So Hard to Be Kind? And the reason why I decided to name it this is because recently Nancy Pelosi had a situation where a stranger came into her house, knocked her husband's head with a freaking hammer, started asking for where she was because he wanted her to admit to him the big lie, which there's a reason why it's called the big lie, and proceeded to put the man in the hospital. Now, I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago there was a shooting in a softball game, and one of the people that got shot was Representative Steve Scalise, and Nancy Pelosi was the first one to ask for prayers into his, so that he would get better and whatnot. But she didn't receive the same behavior from the right. No, they started making conspiracy theories that her husband was having an affair with this man, that he was drunk and he let the guy in, that, what was the other thing that they said? There's all kinds of things that were said about this situation. And so the other day I saw somebody post something, and I actually took the screenshot and posted it on my reels, on no, not on my reels, on my stories. And it said, when Republican Representative Steve Scalise was shot, Nancy Pelosi said, an attack on you is an attack on all. He didn't She didn't speculate about it being a tiff between gay lovers, didn't say it was staged, didn't crack jokes or post memes. She stood up and spoke out. So spare me your both sides bullshit. Okay? That's what the post said. Now, the reason why I posted this is because I totally believe this. I think it's really funny how everything, and I'm not picking sides because both sides do it. It's all fun and games until it happens to me. You know what I mean? Like, for example, there was all these stories about elections stolen and blah 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 until Lauren Boebert came from behind to apparently she's winning her election now several days after the election. Now all of a sudden you barely hear, except for the couple of sore losers that want to win even though the votes are not going in their direction, most people on the right side are now not even mentioning this whole election was stolen thing because it doesn't benefit them. I have thousands of examples of things where people will not mention something until it affects them directly. And I just don't understand why we can't just be decent human beings. So when I posted this, Dear Ethan came out and said, one isn't doing insider trading and covering up her husband's affair, though. Now, it has been firmly established that these people didn't know this man and that this was not an affair. This was a person that had been groomed by some ideals that go against democracy, and he decided that he was going to do his. And by the way, I am not blaming Trump or anybody else for what happened, because the problem is, and this happens in social media, this happens everywhere, you are always going to have people who are so fanatical in their devotion that they're willing to take the law into their own hands to prove your point. So that's not necessarily Trump's fault that some lunatic came into her house. The problem is that when you have any position of influence, be it political, religious, if you're a social media celebrity, if you're a celebrity, there comes a point where you have to stand up and say, I will not avow this, or I disavow this. And what we're seeing more and more, and it's not just politicians, we see it more and more even on social media, is that the people who made the original statements are not willing to go that extra step and say, by the way, don't take the law into your own hands, or don't send hate messages. You know, when you watch a video and the person will tell you, please don't say hey to this person or that person or whatever, that's a thing. There's a reason why people do that. Not only do we not want y'all to go attack anybody, also we need to protect our own liability. Because at the end of the day, and what people don't understand, is that Nancy Pelosi and her husband technically could sue whoever put these ideas on this man's head, because they are responsible. So what's the easiest way to skirt responsibility? You let everybody know that no, you don't agree with that. And so when this person left me this message, going back to the reason why I'm making this video, I wrote, if you have evidence, show it. Your keyboard is not evidence. I don't care if you're left or right. I'm tired of conspiracy theories and rumors. And the reason why I said this is because we have conspiracy theories on both the left and the right. And people speak, and this is not just in politics, but in everything. People seem to speak like they know things. I've told you guys before, I've said this several times, that nothing makes me laugh harder than to watch people that don't like me talk like they know who I am, and in the process make 20 or 30 mistakes about who I am as a person. The perfect example that I can give you and I haven't decided if I'm going to post the image or not because this image is very hurtful, is that time that somebody decided to make a mugshot of me supposedly getting arrested in Florida in, I think it was 1998. I didn't live in Florida in 1998, but you do you. That person gave me a weight that was nowhere near my weight. They gave me 3 inches more than I am, I think, 3 or 4 inches taller, which I'm not mad at in that regard. They gave me a weight, a size. They used a picture from the present when, 1998, I was in my 30s. You name it, and there were so many things that were wrong with that image, but they were going for it like that was me, ironically. Oh yeah, one more thing, I've never been arrested in my entire life because I'm very boring. I don't do illegal things, not because I don't want to get caught, but because it's too much work and I don't want to deal with it. So this whole thing about saying, oh, well, he was cheating on his wife, and people assume that this is true, or, oh, they're insider trading. Let me be clear. Before I continue, I want to make something really clear. Both sides are being accused of insider trading because at the end of the day, all politicians that are in Senate or in the House of Representatives have certain knowledge that gives them an edge over the rest of us, okay? I am not disputing that fact, and I'm also not saying that I agree with it. At the time of filming this video, it is completely legal for anybody in Congress to trade, or their families to trade. And so, I understand that this person is insinuating that they are benefiting from that. At the end of the day, there's no way of knowing how many trades people do that are in favor or against themselves based on information that they may or may not know. Because one thing that insider trading has never taken into consideration, and I'm not talking about situations where they're about to say that they had losses or anything like that. That obviously is something that you can interpret in only one way. What I'm saying is, when there's information about maybe a new discovery or maybe a law that's about to be passed or whatever, you really don't know the impact that situation is going to have on the company that you're investing in. So insider trading has some limitations as to how much it can benefit you, is what I'm trying to say. But that doesn't mean I agree with it. That only means that for the purposes of this particular video, and at the time that I filmed this, they can trade. The law hasn't been signed. So, just so you know. So anyway, because I asked for evidence, and by the way, there's one more thing I wanted to say. I said, your keyboard is not evidence. It was a tongue-in-cheek reference to the fact that there's an expression, something about your flapping gums. You know how people say, well, don't just give me your flapping gums, give me something to hang, some evidence. That's what I meant by the keyboard, because of course this person is typing, is not talking. So, without further ado, I received a message from this person, and I'm going to read the whole message, and then I'm going to answer it. So are you all ready? Let's go. Okay. I make about $2,500 a week following the exact same trades Nancy's husband trades, with short exchange and day trades. I'm in college full time. You're more than welcome to Google any of the information. It's out there. The keyboard comment was weird and baseless. You're obviously uneducated and ill-informed, but it was spelled I'll, as in I will. Anyway, saddening. Hopefully you will take my advice. I can send you the website that sells the algorithm I use to track her trades. Happy hunting. The irony that you're calling me uneducated and you don't know the difference between ill and I'll is baffling. But let's start from the top, shall we? Okay. I make about $2,500 a week following the exact same trades Nancy's husband trades, with short exchange and day trades. Let's tackle that one first. The fact that you make $2,500 a week says nothing to me. How much money did you invest in order for you to get $2,500? The fact that you think that telling me that you make about $2,500 and that's supposed to impress me, honey, how much of that do you get to keep? Because you see, I have friends that have investments accounts, and when their investment reaches a certain amount of income, like they make, let's say, let's use a round number, $3,000, then anything over that goes directly into their savings account and everything else gets reinvested. You see, I'm not impressed by the fact that you make $2,500 a week, because you might have a week when you lose $10,000, and depending on how much money you've made the previous weeks, then you really didn't make anything, did you? But I'm uneducated. Let's go. I'm in college full time. Big whoop-de-fucking-do. I have a bachelor's degree and I have 12 credits towards a master's degree. That means absolutely nothing. But plus, you're not telling me what you're going to school for. I mean, you're 23 years old. I would think you would lead with that, because you should be either already done with the bachelor's degree or about to finish, which would mean you would be very proudly saying, I'm about to graduate from blah, blah, blah. But that's not what you wrote, is it? Oh, yeah. I forgot. Following the exact same trades Nancy's husband trades with short exchange and day trades. Now, I don't know how much people know about this because, well, I'm not a big investment person. I basically save a little money and do whatever. But the only information that is public knowledge is when you trade publicly. So if a person does a trade that is not a public stock, or they do any other types of investment strategies, you wouldn't know that unless you hack into them, would you? I'm just saying. Now, you're more than welcome to Google any of the information. It's out there. And like I said, yeah, it's out there because it's public information. I'm aware of that. The keyboard comment was weird and baseless. I already explained the keyboard comment, but just in case you need it for reference, it was a reference to your flapping gums, which so far you have not proven anything with direct evidence, but okay. You are obviously uneducated and ill-informed. Well, I am educated enough to know the difference between ill, as in sick, or ill-informed, which is the actual comment that you were trying to make, and I'll, as in I will, or I shall, or, whatever. Saddening. Hopefully you will take my advice. I don't take advice from 23-year-olds that don't know how to spell. I'm just saying. I can send you the website that sells the algorithm I use to track her trades. Why would I spend money to invest money when I can get the information for free? Which basically, you said that in the beginning, that the information is out there. So why would I pay for it? Because, by the way, public trades are public information. They are out there. He is right. But I have to pay. Now, if I wanted to pay for a service that will make the trades at the exact same moment that they do, that's a different story for a different day. And maybe that's what you meant, but that's not what you said. But I'm the uneducated. Happy hunting. I'm still waiting for the evidence that this man was having an affair with this man that hit him with a hammer. You didn't even touch that. But yeah, I'm the uneducated one. Here's the thing, sweetheart. I realize that I'm 56, you're 23, and you people seem to have this thing about boomers, even though I'm not a boomer. I come from the, invisible generation, better known as Generation X. I'm not a dummy, and I don't take kindly to people treating me like I am one, because, yeah, I'm not very nice when people piss me off. But just wanted to let you know a couple of things. Whenever you go online and a person is trying to speak on how we should be better to each other, It's never a good strategy to be a mean asshole to somebody, number one. Number two, and more importantly, whenever you are going to answer a question, it's never a good idea to do personal attacks and call somebody a moron. Because what's going to happen is that the person, if they're not a moron, are going to sleep on it, which is exactly what I did, because I found your comment last night and I decided not to answer your comment until I had calmed the hell down. Now, not morons would actually wait until they calm down and answer all your comments. I didn't do research on anything because the stuff that I just said, I actually knew already. But sure, call me the dumb one and the uneducated. It really sad. I don't even know where to go with this. You're mansplaining, you're white-splaining, you're acting like you know it all. You're 23 years old, sweetheart. Exactly what do you know about anything? Yes, I'm calling you dumb. Because here's the thing. It has nothing to do with your age, although, well, a little bit does. But the reality is that the fact that you go to college does absolutely nothing for your intelligence. It just proves that you can study or cheat in order for you to get a grade so you can have a piece of paper. And if there's something that we have realized as the years go by, is that except for certain jobs like being a doctor or being an architect, most jobs don't really require a bachelor's degree. You have just been led to believe that you really need one. Politician comes to mind. Anyway, I can't wait to see what you guys think about this exchange because I personally thought it was rude, and I'm not going to give him a pass because he's young. Because that's the problem. We give them a pass and we give them a pass. I remember James Charles getting a pass all the time. Oh, well, he's only 21. He's too young. Or we will give not JoJo because she's not problematic. But all these other people. Oh, yes. Tana. Oh, she's young. I don't give a damn. You can be young and be smart. Or you can play dumb and fool everybody. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.